It is such a privilege for me to be with you and to share what the Lord has laid in my heart. In Mark 14, we see a beautiful example of a woman who came and did what she could. We see this woman, she may have been uninvited, but she came to the Lord's presence. Jesus was at the home of Simon. His characteristic, they said, was he was a leper. Probably was healed of his leprosy. We don't know how, but he was invited to his house for a feast. So Jesus was reclining at the feast, and this woman comes in. She came probably unannounced, but she had her eyes focused on him because she had to reckon with him, not with anyone else. She decided to go into his presence. At that time, women were not celebrated. Women were probably just a commodity, but she knew she had to meet with him. What she did was she came prepared. She came prepared with an alabaster box filled with spikenard, which is a very expensive perfume, which probably cost her livelihood. But she recognized something about Jesus, and she wanted to give him her best. She did not look at her surroundings. She was laser focused, and she came to him. And then she broke that alabaster box, which meant so much to her. She broke it and let that perfume flow from his head all the way down to his feet. She was a woman with a purpose. She did not care about her surroundings. She had to deal with the one she had to deal with, which was Jesus Christ. She may have come in overburdened. She may have come in completely taxed emotionally, physically, spiritually, in every aspect of her life. But she knew that if she went to him, her answers would be there. The important thing about this whole this story is that she, first of all, had an intention to meet with Jesus. She came prepared with something that was of worth, that would bless his heart. And then she took her position at his feet and she just wiped his feet with her tears. She had an issue. Maybe she was ostracized. Maybe there was sin. Maybe there was sickness. This woman's name is not mentioned, but that's not what's so important. Everyone around her criticized her for the extravagance that she had done for the Lord Jesus Christ. But the Lord commended her and said she did what she could. There are a couple of things that is so important to take away from this story is that Simon missed who Jesus was. Simon took him to be just a casual visitor. He did not know that he was a sacred man. And he missed Jesus in the room. But this woman did not miss Jesus in the room. She ran to him. She ran to him and stayed at his feet till she got the blessing and the deliverance she needed. Oftentimes in our life, Jesus is speaking to us, but we miss him. That's because we consider him to be just casual. We get too comfortable with him. We miss the awesomeness and the fear of the Lord that should be in our heart when we come in his presence. We forget that he is a God of awe and wonder. When we consider him to be casual, you will miss him every single time. The other thing is, she came prepared. When you come into his presence, are you prepared to bring something that is of worth that will bless his heart? In Romans 12, 1 and 2 says, he expects us for our body to be a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is our reasonable worship. We come nonchalantly to his presence. We come casually. We come in like we don't care, a non-care attitude. We have a sense of apathy when we come in his presence. How can we get anything from him? If that is where you are right now, ask the Lord to forgive you of considering the sacred to be just casual. That is one of the greatest sins in our life, is that we have forgotten the awe and the wonder of our God. Let us come into the sense of who he is. In Genesis 1 it says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth." His word, his voice has authority. His voice breaks everything around. And if you truly want to see the revelation of who Christ is, look at it in the book of Revelation. His eyes are blazing fire. His feet are of bronze. He has a golden sash on his waist. He's the rider on the white horse. His name is Faithful and True. Let us get a sense of awe and wonder of who our God is. Once we get that into our heart, who he is, then bring something that is of worth. Come with adoration. Come with a sense of that you are nothing before his presence. Coming to be filled. Come empty and to be filled. And that's what she did. And the wonderful thing about this woman is that she will be remembered for what she has done throughout the world at all time. Let us remember that our worship is a sweet-smelling fragrance unto our God. Put God back into his respective place in your heart. Let him be the center of your life. Let him reign as King of kings and Lord of lords. And admit that you are nothing before him. And when you get into that position, he will see your true need and he will honor that. And I pray that we come back to the sense of true worship. Honor him as King. Honor him as Lord. Honor him as faithful and true. And what we also see with her is that God commended her. May the Lord commend us for our faithfulness in seeing who he is and honoring for who he is. May the Lord bless you.